Yeah, and this case has ping pong from the mundane to the tabloid to the salacious. As you said, there were calls for mistrial by the defense. There were admonishments by the judge as to how Stormy Daniel could give details of her sexual encounter with Trump. These are all, though, part of the building blocks of the prosecution's case and the alleged corporate records cover up, the bigger, broader conspiracy. The paper trail has to it begins with the accounting departments, but they want it to initiate from Trump. How is Michael Cohen's testimony going to be crucial to furthering this building blocks that the prosecution is trying to do to build their case and target and pin it to Donald Trump ultimately?
I imagine that Michael Cohen's testimony is going to be along the lines that he was acting on behalf of former President Trump at his clear direction with full knowledge. He's going to have to say that he was essentially stepping in those shoes and being former President Trump, that he wasn't operating independently and doing it on his own, or him being the one that's suggesting these concepts or ideas of how to reach out to David Pecker and how to make these payments or what to do. He will likely say that all information and all guidance emanated from the top down to him, meaning with former President Trump, down to him, and he was acting at his direction. Now, I believe that the defense will attempt to tear that down and say, you're an attorney, you have knowledge of election laws, or you should have knowledge of the law in general. You have knowledge of what it would be to step outside of what is legal or illegal. President Trump is your client. You should be the one providing him with advice as opposed to the other way around. So I think that there's a lot of routes for the defense to go, not to mention Michael Cohen has spent time in jail. Michael Cohen is a convicted perjurer, meaning that he was found guilty for lying under oath, which I think is problematic for a lot of his testimony. And I do feel like there's a lot of fodder there for the defense. Whereas today with Stormy Daniels, when the defense moved for a mistrial, as part of their plea to the judge, they essentially said the information that she provided was so salacious, so prejudicial, so not substantive that there's almost nothing that we can even do to dig into it and to work with it. And now the jury is going to take this information that isn't truly relevant to the case, but then use that unfairly against former President Trump. I believe the defense did this not really thinking that they were 100% going to get a mistrial, but it may create an appealable issue for them. And maybe that's the best that they can do with Miss Daniels' testimony, who on cross-examination under the defense's questioning was sharp and aggressive. This is what we call a hostile witness. They're not a witness that you're going to be able to easily work with. They're going to push against you at every step of the way. So maybe the angle of the mistrial and attacking it from that point of view, maybe that's the best the defense can get out of this witness to at least minimize the impact to the jury.